What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So this is the news that we were all waiting for. The Spanish star, also the breakout star of this post-Olympia tour, he has finally announced that he's also heading to Japan Pro to compete and hopefully win his first pro show as well. So this kind of changes the whole scenario for the upcoming Japan Pro. And lots of people, they are gonna be changing their predictions because Joan is a guy who has placed second twice already in this post-Olympia tour. He has beaten the likes of Akim Williams and he almost beat Keon Pearson in Prague. So everyone out there is talking about his supreme bone structure, and some experts out there are even referring to him as a young Jay Cutler. So Joan has proved to everyone that he can bring a top-level condition. And if we look at his evolution, from UK Pro to Romania Pro, he got tighter, but at the same time, he was able to hold on to all that mass, all that muscle pretty well. So the best thing about Joan's physique, they are his big blown quads, which give him an awesome X-frame. And many people have James Hollingshead as the favorite to win this one. But the fact is, Joan has already beaten an awesome version of James, and that was a few weeks back at the British Grand Prix. So this is a very exciting news for all the bodybuilding fans, because this upcoming Japan Pro, that is also gonna be an awesome show now. So the complete official Japan Pro list, that has also been announced. So a total of 31 guys in the men's open bodybuilding. So I'm gonna say this again, despite what some of these old guys have been saying, the open bodybuilding, that is thriving, as this is another show where the number of competitors in the open, they are way higher compared to classic physique. So the standouts in this lineup, they are James Hollingshead, a 2-time Olympian, Florian Poirson, who is transitioning back from classic into the men's open, Mark Hector, also Xiao Mingyan from China, and Sean Carida. So this is gonna be such an interesting show. We all know if Joan is on, he's most likely gonna win this show. But who among these guys have the best chance of giving him a fight here? Am I crazy to think that Sean Carida can be that guy? Well, let me know what you guys think. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So we saw one of the finest physique in the IFBB Pro League earlier this year, making his open debut at Tampa Pro. So I'm talking about Peng Yunlong, the guy who arguably has some of the best legs in bodybuilding in the recent times. So he has blown up like crazy during the off-season and is also hitting his peak strength during this phase of the year. So I cannot emphasize enough on the progress that this guy was able to make. From 2022 to 2025, he basically transitioned from 212 into the men's open, and even his back, that looked tremendously improved. So why was he top 10 at Tampa Pro this year? While as impressive as Peng looked, he still needs more size, more thickness, more density, especially in that upper half, and that too front to back, more specifically in the back. And that's what he has been working on. So his legs are already world class. Now Peng could have been a bit more tighter, especially from the back at Tampa Pro this year. So that is something that he should also focus on whenever he steps on the stage next. So he has only done a few shows as a pro. So this guy is still learning. Now some of the best, most muscular that we saw this year, that was from Peng when he was 1 week out of Tampa Pro. So this guy should be mentioned a lot more because he undoubtedly has one of the wildest physiques in the IFBB Pro League in terms of his overall proportions. So one more off season and he's gonna be extremely competitive. So the king of classic, the 6-time Olympia champion Chris Bumstead, he has finally found a perfect balance between growing his business and also maintaining a great lean physique all year round. Most importantly, he is extremely happy with the progress that he has been able to make over this past 1 year. I mean, from having multiple shoulder tears to rocking this current physique, that is an awesome achievement. So Cbum's journey to the top, That is a dream story for any pro bodybuilder. He turned pro back in 2017 and he retired in 2024 with 6 Olympia titles under his belt. So the guy retired at 30 with complete financial freedom, and that must have been the biggest factor for him, stepping away from the sport, which we all know is gonna harm you in the end. So would Cbum stead have been as successful if there was no classic physique? Well, we will never find out. But he kind of showed us all how great of an athlete he truly is by going up against the likes of Martin Fitzwater and giving him a serious run for his money. And that was Chris just eating up to a show for merely 4 weeks' time. So imagine Chris Bumstead with his genetics had he put all that effort. For that many years, trying to grow into the open bodybuilding, he could easily have been a top 5, maybe even a top 3 guy in the open bodybuilding. So Terrence Swiffin is onto a mission as he slowly transitions into the off-season for 2026. So he has already announced that he's only looking to compete in one single show next year. That is his sole focus, the Olympia. And Terrence now becomes another IFBB pro, setting up his own home gym. So that if he is willing to train twice per day, that becomes more of a realistic approach. So he was probably the guy who competed the most as a classic physique competitor. He stepped on the stage for a total number of 5 times in 2025, and he won 4 out of those 5 shows. So the one show which Terrence is striving to win for a decade, that has been the Olympia. And if he's finally able to do that, get that sent out maybe next year, that will be such an epic story. Like the men's physique champ, Ryan Terry, who struggled for a decade before winning his first Olympia title. So Terrence has the most classic looking physique among that top 3. So there aren't that many holes left in his physique as of right now. He brought up his arms, his hamstrings, the overall package at this past Olympia. That was easily his all-time best. So there is only one thing that is sort of like an hurdle in his path. And that is something he can overcome. He needs more size overall. Ramon and Mike, they are both more muscular than him. And that's the only reason why Terrence was 3rd at the Olympia this year. But the fact that both these guys, they are already maxed out, while Terrence on the other hand, he still has some room to grow, to put on more muscle. And Tyler Mannion's comment that the top 3, they are interchangeable any day, depending on how they show up. That's enough motivation for Terrence to bring his best in 2026. And I believe this is gonna be his best physique, because the most amount of progress that Terrence has made was during the time when he took long off seasons and long breaks in order to get bigger, in order to grow. So let me know what you guys think. What are the chances of Terrence becoming an Olympia champion in Classic in 2026? Also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.